Super Mario World 1 Level 1, one of the most iconic stages in gaming history. And while it might look simple, this is actually one of the most well-designed levels ever made. I recently saw a video of Ludwig where he tied the world record time for beating the first level of Super Mario Bros., the famous 1-1. But Ludwig made one big mistake. He mistimed the final jump, and instead of landing towards the top of the pole and actually tying the world record time, he landed at the bottom, which means he's actually milliseconds off from securing that big time prize. But I'm not gonna make that mistake, because today I'm gonna beat his record for the fastest time on Super Mario World 1 Level 1, and I'm gonna do it in under an hour. I started my first run thinking this would be super easy. But as you can see, things didn't go exactly according to plan. And honestly, while I consider myself to be pretty good at Mario games and platformers in general, I've kind of been out of practice, especially with classic Mario and even more so with speedrunning. But it didn't take me long to get back into the swing of things. My next batch of runs went a lot smoother than the first. I was blazing through the early parts of the level, but I was making stupid mistakes when I didn't have to be. Stupid mistakes that were costing me the world record time. Now you're probably also looking at this thinking, Scasm, what the hell is your problem, man? It's the most basic level ever made. The jumps are easy, the level's easy. What are you freaking doing, my man? Well, let me stop you right there, okay? As easy as it looks, it's actually requiring you to complete some of the most precise jumps you've ever made in your entire freaking life. And because it's a speedrun attempt for the world record, even the slightest mistake can end your run instantly. So it was officially time to lock in. I was running, I was jumping, I was stomping on Goomba heads, and while I started out slow, each run brought me closer and closer to beating Ludwig's world record time. Which, this is probably a good time to point it out, is all based on this little timer right here. You see, speedruns of 1-1 aren't counted by real-life time. They're actually based on the in-game clock in the top right corner, which starts at 400 seconds at the beginning of the level and counts down from there. The time I'm trying to reach is 3:70. That's the world record time, and that's the time that Ludwig hit on his almost final run. Yet for some reason, no matter how hard I try, I keep getting 369. And it just didn't make sense because I had been doing the run over and over. Every mistake a learning opportunity, every mistimed jump a lesson, every precise movement put into practice. But even then, attempt after attempt, no matter what I did, I kept ending up at 369. If I went over the Goomba, 369. If I killed the Goomba, 369. If I did the jumps poorly, 369. If I did it perfectly, I kept getting 369. And honestly, I was starting to think that I might never get that 370 because at this point, it just didn't seem possible. I was doing everything right, yet somehow nothing was working. Here's why. You see, when Ludwig was a little over halfway through his 100 attempts, he got the brilliant idea of reaching out to a Super Mario speedrunning pro, a pro that could coach him through the rest of the process and help him reach the world record time of 370. Luckily for me, him having this help benefited me greatly because I was able to watch his progress and get the tips and tricks that I needed to make this a much easier process. And it all came down to something Ludwig said to his coach.
You wouldn't say my pipe game is bad, right?
The pre-pipe game. Well, I mean the pre-pipe game.
My pre-pipe game, godlike.
Godlike.
My pipe game?
Very non-godlike right now. But
how's my pipe game? 4 little words that changed everything for me. Because suddenly, it all made sense. I'd been trying to figure out if I could shave off a split second from jumping faster and maybe hitting the flag quicker, but that's not what mattered. Because the only thing that actually matters when it comes to getting a world record on World 1 Level 1 is this pipe right here. Enter the underground pound town. This is where shit gets real, and this is where you either make it or break it with your run. Because you can do everything perfect until this point, and everything perfect afterwards, but you won't get the world record unless you absolutely nail your movement in here. Essentially, you want to make sure that you go into this pipe with 385 seconds remaining, and you want to make sure you go through this pipe on the other end with 380 seconds left. If you waste a single millisecond, your world record run is completely over. And this is where I figured it out. Because no matter what I did, I always ended up finishing with 369, and it's because I wasn't nailing this room. I always entered with 385, but I always left with 379. And it's that tiny difference that almost blew this whole thing for me. But then I ran into a completely new problem. Because even though I knew what the problem was, I didn't really know how to fix it. Run after run, no matter what I did, I always ended up with 379. And then I looked at how Ludwig did it. It seems so simple. But no matter what I was doing, and no matter what I tried, not a single thing was working for me. I just couldn't do it. And with barely a minute left on my clock, I was about to fail at stealing the world record from Lud. But I wasn't ready to give up, because I've been trying over and over, and each time I've been getting a little bit better and a little bit closer to getting that world record time. So at this point I thought I might as well give it my all and try with one final attempt. This is that run. Okay. Ba-dip-bip. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes, dude! Yes, dude! Yes, dude! Yes, dude! Oh my god! Oh my god, dude! And with that, I finally did it. Was it worth it? Absolutely.